set in stone as a monthly thing. But once that is solidified and that location is solidified, I will more than gladly let you guys know.
Oh, indeed. It's all good. It sounds like you're a busy woman. What are some of the challenges, if any, because you might say it ain't where you from, it's where you at. But I know some people who are in this industry or in this game that stay in areas outside of New York, outside of Atlanta, outside of L.A., and so on, blame that in regards to how successful or not they are. Do you see those same challenges? And if so, how do you beat them?
I do see some of those challenges, but I also see the way to conquer them as well. I don't necessarily see problems without seeing solutions. So with that being said, although New York, Atlanta, California are the hubs for a lot of what we see in the mainstream, places like South Carolina are typically in the background of it. Like, while you might see the superstar, there's South Carolina production, there's a South Carolina videographer, editor, you know what I'm saying, all the way down to the designers, hairstylists, all kind of little small stuff. So I do see those challenges of, I guess, having that immediate access that people have in the larger cities, but the way around those types of challenges, honestly, is to make yourself known. Branding yourself is everything. One of the things when I started Dejan T Management, I never actually wanted to be the face of the brand. I never actually wanted to be the one who was out there. I wanted to stay behind the scenes. But I realized, it actually takes getting out there and rubbing elbows with the right people. It takes networking with the right people. Like, yeah, we're from South Carolina, but we're down in Orlando because this particular company is having an event that's typically pretty dope for indie artists. We're going up here just to do a showcase. It doesn't even have to be a paid show. We're going up here to get the exposure to network with this new market of people who probably never heard this type of music. So it's all about the willpower of what you want to do. You can spend thousands of dollars and pay your way to the top, or you can build yourself a solid foundation so that when you do find yourself up against those struggles of not being in the bigger city, you've got a loyal fan base where you are who's going to support you and carry you over into what it is that you're trying to be as far as mainstream or releasing music.
I can dig it. What is one of the more frustrating things, I guess, you get from an artist that approaches you that potentially wants y'all to work together? What are some of the things that frustrate you about, their approach, their follow-up, or somebody will get, your whole spiel and then they never follow up because they didn't want to pay that ticket or whatever? What are some of the things that frustrate you about art?
The introduction is definitely one that grinds my gears a little. They'll hit you up, inbox you, DM you, and send you 1,000 links. Meanwhile, there's never been a, hey, hello, my name is such and such, I'm from such and such, here's my social media, check me out sometime. It goes straight to the, hey, check this out. Hey, click this link. Hey, did you hear my music? Or, the famous one is book me for a show. Pay me for a show. What exactly am I paying you for? Do you have a following? Can you bring a crowd? As a business person, they don't understand the other side of things. While, yes, you might be really, really dope, and you may be worth being paid based on your talent, but as the venue owner, as the person doing this event, am I taking the L by paying you, or are we both going to take a W right now? Can you bring in those 10 people to cover that $100 that I paid you for your show type of situation? And when you try to explain that to artists, sometimes it becomes a really sticky situation because they feel as though you don't see their value. But we see your value. As managers, as promoters, as fans and supporters, we see your value. But when we're talking in terms of actually running a venue or an event, it boils down to a little bit more than just paying you. We have to figure out how that's going to still generate into the venue. So that's one of the things that really, 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 really bother me. Other than that, little small stuff like the spamming. Got to stop the spamming. That's the easiest way to get blocked, the easiest way to make us not want to hear music. When you're spamming us all day, every day, there's an approach for everything. I should not wake up to 39 inboxes, and all those inboxes are your links, blocked. And I'm an open book. Any artist that hits me up, they want to know information, they want help getting registered, I typically do not charge for those fees. If you have the willpower to hit me up and say, I need help, then I'm woman enough to say, okay, let me help you, because not everybody in this game is willing to say I need a helping hand. Most want to say I got it out the mud on my own.
All right. And I'm definitely with you on the spam, and I don't even respond anymore because, like, I used to respond angrily. Then I said, nah, I need to grow. So then I would be like, hey, you know, I know you out here pushing your music, but this is the way you do it. And then I still got a 50-50 response. Like, some would be like, I bet, and others would be like, oh, F you, and da-da-da-da-da. So I said, you know what? If you don't know how to respond, you don't know how to approach me, I don't even respond. Like, some dude just waved. He's still waving. Because I ain't saying that.
I'm telling you.
But I got a question for you.
All right.
Do you see a difference working with male artists versus female artists?
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
So male artists are much easier to work with than a female artist, especially being a female in the game. We have this thing about us that puts us in competition with one another unconsciously. That's one thing that I see that really, really hinders a lot of females' progression in this game. The females that I've been fortunate enough to work with, however, they've been really young, so they are able to mold. They are teachable. They're coachable. They don't mind listening, taking advice, picking up, and doing what needs to be done. So it's been fairly easy so far on my behalf. But just like some of the people I've come in contact with, like, females are very particular. They feel like, you know what I'm saying, when your confidence is on 100, nobody's going to tell you anything different. So sometimes they don't want to hear, you know, what is the truth. Not what you saw in the mirror, but what the actual truth may be. Sometimes they don't necessarily want to follow the way that you may have things planned out because they feel as though their approach or what they've got going on may actually be the key. And don't get it wrong, males are the same way. You got some male divas as well. But males are more so, especially being a woman, they're more so relaxed and letting you take that leadership to lead you in the right direction. That's the biggest difference I see. And, of course, when it's time for showtime, you got to let your female artists know 3 hours ahead it's time to get ready because they're going to be dragging when it's time to get to shows because they got to get pretty. But other than that, and having that time accommodation for them, because I do believe that even as artists, mental health is important. So I do take the time to put that family aspect into my team. I actually talk to my team. We have group chats where we communicate as a family. I don't necessarily reach out to them directly, you know what I'm saying, unless it's something between one-on-one with me and that particular artist. Otherwise, we create a family atmosphere so they know, you know what I'm saying, if you need anything, you can call Dejan. If you need anything, you can call one of your brothers in the group. You can call one of your sisters in the group. You know, let's take a trip. How y'all feeling today? What y'all working on? What do y'all need from me? Like, you got to be a listening ear for both male and females, because a lot of times when you're in that leadership position, people expect that you're the one setting the tone and you're the one, you know, making the beat for everybody to walk to, when that's not the case. The artists are the leaders. I'm simply the follower who makes the dream come true.
Okay. Earlier in this interview, you said something about like you're like the bridge, like you want to help them get to that point. Now, do you expect reciprocation? Is it understood? Is it in the contract? Because and the reason I ask is because so many people that groomed artists, groomed a certain group or whatever, and then made the introduction or, you know, made the investment so they could be discovered at so-and-so and so-and-so. But then they're having a fight for what's rightfully theirs because the new team didn't want to bring you on or didn't want to include you in the movement going forward. So how do you cover yourself in that aspect?
Well, like I said, I only have a certain amount of people actually signed to me, so they actually have contracts. In those contracts, I am only guaranteed a percentage of what they make from their shows or features as long as it is booked through me. There's also a no conflict of interest clause in there. So if they choose to work with other people, if they sign to a label, if they start working with another independent group, that is completely fine by me. They're still able to keep me as management. They still have full rights to all of their music, all of their masters and everything. I don't take ownership of any of that. I do drop the music as far as distribution. I do drop the music up under my label's name, but all that money goes to them. When it's time to cash out, that money is going to them. That check is getting cut, and it's going straight to them. Now, if we ever do get in a predicament where they're able to sign a deal and they may have to continue on without me, it's no fighting for what's right. My thank you is in the proof in the pudding. You made it. We here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really looking for anything reciprocated. I don't charge my artists any monthly fees. We're a family. We're growing and building this brand together. So I kind of keep a lot of the business aspect in my office. You know what I'm saying? Like, I allow my artists to be artists without having to worry about, you know what I'm saying, what I may or may not be getting off of their successes.
Okay. All right. And that's dope. I respect that. I can't front on that.
I appreciate it.
Do you have, or do you feel, I guess, competition might be the wrong word, but I guess people trying to imitate what you do without giving you your due?
Oh, all the time. And I'm the new booty out here. I started my first show June 8th of last year at the showroom out in Latta, South Carolina. Was my very first Dejan T. Presents an SC Indie Grind show. And my biggest shows have brought out as much as almost 50 artists. So before I stepped into it, like, we were going to shows. I was supporting other people's shows. My artists were performing at other shows, and I just started realizing, you know, it's a lot of stuff going on right now that's not really good business, and I want to create a platform where I can provide for these artists and still have good business practice in doing so, which is what encouraged me to step out. Not only that, but the fact that I have access to quite a few different venues. That gave me a little bit more manpower behind me, as well as having a DJ who, no matter where I go, DJ Surplus is coming with me. So having a full team that travels no matter where I go enabled me to open up a lot of doors. Well, once we actually got on the ball with this thing and started moving with it, there were people, you know what I'm saying, who used to be within my circle who are now outside of the circle doing the exact same thing. I start, you know, taking little split shots. Someone even went as far as one time is when I had one of my biggest shows, they threw an event the exact same night and threw a party that was pretty much, the title of the party was like a whole diss towards me. And it was really interesting. You get a lot of people, too, who suck up your knowledge. I have people who contact me all the time asking questions that seem innocent to me, as though, you know, they're just trying to figure out their way along. I'm not going to hoard information. I'm going to help anybody out, especially my sisters and my brothers. I'm going to help you out. Plenty of people have done that, throw the event, successful, boom, it's like, wow, now I'm in competition with her. When me, I'm in my own lane. I'm not going to compete with anybody. Of course, during award season, my goal is to get more votes than the next man. That's the point of an award show. But on a daily basis, I'm not in competition with anybody because I want to work with some of everybody. So it's really funny to me when I start seeing stuff like that. And then when I start seeing, like, the shots coming back from, oh, I made this much, oh, I had this many people out here, this, that, and the third. Congratulations. But you coming to my show next week, though? Like, that's how I be feeling, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's real out here. It really is real, and I'm learning because I have been naive since I stepped into it. So many people have contacted me saying, you know, you too humble. You got to man up a little bit and talk that stuff, girl, because you're a woman out here. You really got to talk that stuff and let them know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you here, but I don't know. I just haven't got to that point yet where I feel like I should come off arrogant or egotistical. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm very confident because I know what I'm capable of, and I know where we've been, where we are, where we're going, but I can't compete with nobody. I don't want to compete with nobody because once I start competing, I'm no longer working in my lane. I'm working in yours.
I heard that. A few years, maybe like 5-6 years back, but when I was trying to do some different events and different showcases, the frustrating thing I had, or what I entailed, was that I ran into artists super ultra talented, like, you know, good attitude, everything. But it was almost like they were intimidated to, like, ask people to buy a ticket, like, to come out. You know, I would give them ideas. I'd be like, go to people that mess with you, that let you borrow money before, whatever. Like, they might not come to the show, but they'll buy a ticket, then give that to somebody. Like,